someone looked over there. So
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, okay, here we go. My name is Susan Stastny, and I have come up with a wonderful concept for women that I believe everyone needs to find a completed man. That's going to be a catchphrase that's going to sweep the country, because a completed man is a knight in shining armor and a modern man. You can buy the two. I have so many friends that are divorced or that are single, and they cannot believe how men are today. So find yourself a completed man. Don't settle for less than a completed man, and get yourself a completed man. Absolutely. I'm married to one, and there are a lot of completed men out there. A completed man is a kind man. He treats you totally equally, but he's also a gentleman, and he also has a wonderful way of making you feel so special. And so we want everybody to have a completed man, and we want to try to make the men go to be a completed man. And I love old Hollywood, and I know Claudette Colbert, one of my favorite actresses from the past. She was at a party years ago back in the 1930s, and she had a guest that she was talking to. And someone very, very, obviously not very bright, was talking. And Claudette Colbert looked at her party guest and said, "You know, when you're born dumb, it lasts a long time. But when you're born wonderful, it lasts a long time also." And my husband is absolutely a completed man. I have been happily married since I was very, very young, and that's the way he is. And I also have been told ever since I've met John, even before we got married, does he have a brother or can we clone him? Which I actually did in my book Drexel, which you can find online also.
Sorry, that
You like
was
that?
great.
Yeah, you like that? You like
Yeah,
that?
I love it.
Okay. Did you like what I would put? Oh, okay. You ready? Okay. You ready? I'm putting another thing. See, I'm gonna have to edit this too. There was years ago. There was a little preacher who was visiting a church, and he asked, because completed men are basically perfect. They're absolutely perfect. He asked, "Is there anyone in the audience here that thinks they're perfect or that knows someone that's perfect?" A very small little old man in the back of the church raised his hand. He said, "You, sir, do you think you're perfect?" The little man said, "No, sir, but my wife's first husband was." Well, if you get a completed man, you'll be happy and you will have a perfect man. So, what do you think about that?
That's hilarious.
Isn't that cute? You like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, don't make me
okay.
laugh.
Yeah.
All right.
I got Harrell. Oh, okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here's something else. A completed man also is like wine, something great. He just gets better with age. My husband has gotten better every year. I wouldn't trade him for $10 billion. I wouldn't trade him in on a new model for anything in the world. It's like George Harrell said, the famous photographer, again with the old Hollywood stars. Someone asked him, "How did you make Gable and Garbo and Harlow look so glamorous?" He said, "I didn't have to make them look glamorous. They were already glamorous." Well, you don't have to make a completed man. Do not settle for less, because you won't have to try to change them. They're already great. Just like Harrell said, you already have glamour, you already have a wonderful, wonderful man. And also, I remember years ago, I knew a friend of mine that was going to marry. She was very young, like I was when I married. But she said, "Oh, don't worry, there's a lot of things I don't like about this guy's name was Joe. There's a lot of things I don't like about Joe, but I'll change him." I said, "You never will." 4 years later, she's divorced. Well, if you get a completed man, you don't have to do that. They're already perfect. What do you think about that?
Very good.
Okay. I got the got Claudette Colbert. Oh, if you have a completed man, you have a fully engaged, wonderful partner that will last you a lifetime, whether you're married or not. Maybe you don't want to get married, but be sure that you don't settle for anything less than that. Be sure and get a completed man.
I like that. Can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
Can you give me a list of traits that you think comprise a completed man?
A completed man has wonderful, wonderful characteristics. He is very, very kind, he's loving, he's a gentleman, and a gentleman at the same time. And also, he makes you feel so special. My husband and I have always been so, I think, wonderful together because we've never been selfish with each other. Then you don't have to be selfish by yourself. If you feel like you have to look out for yourself, then you're going to be not as good with your partner. But if you feel like your partner puts you first, then you can put your partner first. So you need to do that. A completed man is honest, He would not hurt your feelings, but he's honest in a gentle way, so you know you're always dealing with someone that's very puts you on their level. They treat you totally equally, but they also have chivalry. Just like I said, like an old-fashioned man. But you don't want, you know, from years ago, you don't want them to treat us like second-class citizens. You want to be fully equal, but you also want the chivalry. I like for my husband to open the door for me. I like for men to be gentlemen, but I also want men to think that I have a brain and that I am equal. My husband has always considered me very, very equally in every decision we make, and every idea he has, every thought that bleeps across my brain, I tell him. So we are talking all the time. We communicate with each other. A completed man always communicates.